Hello, Mrs. Secretary. Thank you so much for joining me. An interesting fact before we begin is that this past summer I went to Boise State and I was appointed Secretary of Education, so I feel like
Oh,
that's a little cool
so we're
connection.
both, the same job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so personally, throughout my college application process, I was very concerned about the
Yeah.
cost of college. And for a while, I was even considering if I should go to college because it's so expensive and I didn't know if I was going to be paying the loans off or paying the debt off forever. But recently I got accepted into college and now I'm just trying to figure out how to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to students who are concerned about the cost of college and the debt that might come with it?
Tyler, your story right there, what you just told me is why we're doing what we're doing. That's why the president and vice president are pushing hard. Seriously. Because they're students like you with tremendous potential that are second guessing whether or not higher education is for them. When we know students with a 4-year degree on average make $1 million more than a high school graduate over the course of their careers. Why shouldn't you have that opportunity? So my advice to the students who are in that position is, do your homework. If you're choosing to study something that costs you $200,000, and then the job market in that space is $30,000, $40,000 a year, you got to do some rethinking.
Yeah.
And we're going after colleges who are charging that much for programs that are not providing a good return on investment. But my message to students is, look, follow your heart, fulfill your life's purpose, feel connected with what you're doing, but make sure that it's going to be able to pay the bills. Because if your goal is also to buy a home, you should be thinking about a career pathway that can allow you to do that.
Thank you for that advice. One of President Biden's top priorities was the alleviation of student loan debt. And a policy that he put in place was sort of forgiveness for some of the loans, but it's received some challenges. So could you tell us a little bit about the status of those?
We're trying to reduce the number of people that go into default or delinquency, right? So that targeted debt relief was aimed at those people that need it the most. That's what the plan is. We're waiting right now for the Supreme Court. But separate from that, we're also doing a lot to make sure that we're making college more affordable. We're calling out colleges that are extremely expensive and don't provide a good return on investment. We're lifting up colleges that are more affordable, that help students with whatever they need to finish it, cross the finish line.
In my freshman year of high school, one of my teachers quit on the very first day of school and was never really replaced. What can be done to alleviate the shortage of teachers and educational professionals in schools?
The reality is we don't respect the profession the way we need to. It's almost like we take advantage of our educators because we expect them to be there. Well, look what's happening. We're finding teacher shortages across the country.
Yeah.
To me, the teacher shortage is a symptom of a teacher respect issue. So I feel we need to invest to make sure that we have highly qualified teachers, that they're getting paid a competitive salary. Right now, the teaching profession is one of the lowest paid professions with the amount of degrees that you need or credentials you need. We have to fix that. We have to make sure we have better working conditions too. A lot of times teachers leave not because of the income, but just they're asked to do so much, and part of that is because we don't have enough school social workers. We don't have enough support for our educators so they could focus on the content that they teach.
Thank you so much. It's been such an honor to speak with you today.
Same here.
Thank you so
Tyler,
much.
the interviewer. Love
Yes,
it. All right.
thank you.
Thank you.